Nobody so far has made a video that induced the feeling in me that I just wanted to reach through the screen and choke them, so at least they'll shut up and stop floating around the screen like this guy does. I just wanted to punch the guy in the face just so he'd stop moving around, so I could at least listen to what he was trying to say. But if you listen closely to this guy, he says, and this is his entire argument, that you can't be a scientist unless you're a theologian. Well, that's fine with me. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. Are you satisfied now? And of course, he's trying to say that Christianity is the only possible way. He's eventually going to get to it, I'm sure. But first you have to believe in a God in order to believe that induction is true. That is completely false, a complete bullcrap, whatever he's trying to sell, because the universe could be orderly without a God, and it doesn't have to be orderly without a God. And even if you assume a God, it doesn't have to be orderly. He could have created the universe, and he could come down here and monkey with it, and that's what he does. Jesus walking on water? No, not an orderly universe. The universe is completely messed up if somebody can walk on water just by believing that they can walk on water. People coming back from the dead after 4 days, all science is crap. You can't be a scientist and believe this. The only way you can possibly be a scientist is if you don't believe God exists and that he'll come in here and monkey with everything. I mean, it makes an inconsistent universe to believe that God can do all this stuff and will do all this stuff, like the Pastafarians. They think that he buried all the bones just to confuse us. You have to believe that God will either not mess with the universe, of course you can't be a Christian to believe that, or you have to believe that the universe is orderly without a God existing at all. And both of those is true. Well, how are you going to know that the universe is orderly unless you believe in a God that perhaps tells you? Well, you can't know that God tells you. He says, well, we know that the universe is orderly because we looked it up in the first 2 books of Genesis. Well, how do you know the book's telling the truth? Are you going to use some kind of induction for that? Well, no, you can't, because you haven't proven that God exists or not, that God exists yet, and that he's created the universe orderly. So unless you assume this, and you don't know it for sure, you can't use induction. And I can use induction just as well, assuming that the universe just happened to have order when there was nothing to create it to make it have order. So yes, I can be a scientist just fine. And this guy is just trying to pull something over somebody's face, because if you watch the video, and you might have to take some motion sickness pills, or just skip to the point, although he says it real quick, that, well, Christians don't have this problem. Well, yeah, you do. You have the exact same problem everybody else does, because you can't trust your senses any more than anybody else can. Just believing in God does not make the universe orderly. And just not believing in God automatically makes it disorderly. So this video is bullcrap. Thank you very much.